Hi, welcome to episode 471 of The Corner of Knit and Tea. My name is Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy Kira on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. I blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, which is where this episode and every episode show notes will be. And I have an Etsy shop called The Corner of Knit and Tea, where I sell my handspun yarns and patterns. Hi, how are you? It is Monday, April 22nd, and it is a beautiful day here. The weather has been just gorgeous for the last little bit. I am coming to you from just outside of Kansas City, in Kansas, and I am enjoying some beautiful spring weather. The trees are budding. Unfortunately, there's lots of pollen, but the weather has been really nice. It has been in the 50s and 60s. We had a little bit of rain. We've had lots of sunshine. Everything is growing again, and it's just really nice. So I hope that you are doing well. I decided to come and do a very short episode today. I am still not crafting much. For those of you who have joined me before, thanks for coming back. I am still battling a little bit of tendonitis. I actually got cleared by PT last week to start some of my activities, and I have a very little bit of knitting to show you today. And then I have an embroidery project to show you, and that's pretty much what I've been up to. I will be probably at some point moving to a little bit more activity, but I'm trying to take it real slow and not get too wrapped up in things because I definitely don't want to lose the ability to do it again. So, and the other thing that I've noticed and actually was just thinking about in the last day or two is it has been a little bit nice to have an enforced break. I haven't enjoyed not being able to knit, but I am usually so busy with so many crafts and you know, things that I want to get done for charity and things that I promise to do for other folks, and it has been a little bit nice these last couple weeks not having anything that I have to do, not worrying about deadlines, not thinking about how much more I have to do, and so I think I might take that into the next phase of things and try not to overcommit so much and maybe try not to push myself quite so hard. My productivity may go down a little bit, but my hope is that my enjoyment will stay high. So that's kind of what's going on here. This past weekend was lovely. My husband and I did a run on Saturday. We had the Garmin marathon and half marathon and 10K. Garmin is actually headquartered here in Kansas City in a place called Olathe, which is a suburb of Kansas City. And so we went out and did the run, and it is always an Oz themed run, like Wizard of Oz, because of course it's Kansas, everything is Oz here. And there are always people in costumes and fun stuff. And so my husband did the half marathon and I did the 10K. And I really wasn't looking forward to it. I prefer a 5K as my distance, and I mostly walk and maybe a little bit of jogging. And I actually did well at the 10K. I came in 4 minutes ahead of all of my previous records. So it was kind of an interesting day. Otherwise, we just kind of hung out this weekend. I got a little bit of crafting done, which I will show you in a minute. And otherwise, we just enjoyed being together. We have lots of busy things coming up. This coming weekend is Knitting in the Heartland, which is a biannual convention held here in Kansas City. It is put on by the Sunflower Knitters Guild. And actually, this is the first time we've had it in quite a few years. We had it scheduled in 2020, but of course it was scheduled for April. And by April, everything was shut down due to the pandemic. And then it is a biannual conference, so it only happens in even years. And in 2022, we did not do it because we were still not sort of clear on how everything would work, and we weren't back to gathering in big groups. So the last time we had it was 2018. This one is this weekend. If you are local, there is a free vendor market. It is open 10 to 5 on Saturday, and I think 11 to 4 on Sunday. Might be 10 to 4. You can check it at KITH, KITHKC, which stands for Knitting in the Heartland, Kansas City.com, I think. And our guest this year is, our kind of keynote speaker and guest is Stephanie Pearl McPhee, the Yarn Harlot. So I am going to the keynote address on Friday night, and then I am going with friends on Saturday to the market and on Sunday to the market, and then I am also taking a class on Sunday. So I don't anticipate buying very much because unfortunately I'm not using much of it right now. But my plan is to go and enjoy and soak up all the goodness, even if I can't really knit. So that is what I'm working on. So today I am drinking tea in my coffee mug from The Bean, which is this cute little coffee house that's a couple towns over from me. And actually the tea is from a place that's across the street from the coffee house. And it is called Backyard Porch Blend Tea. And it is black tea, orange peel, strawberry, blackberry leaves, and flavor. That's where it came from. So I am drinking that right now, and it is delicious. It's black and a little fruity, and it will get me through the rest of the afternoon. So I really only have 2 projects to show you. This really is going to be very short. Last week I was cleared to think about starting to knit again, and so I tried to decide what kind of project I thought would be best for me. And I had been working on a tank top. And at first I thought that would be best because it's being knit in pieces and it's fingering weight. It's not on super small needles because it's for a garment, so it's knit on 2s and 4s, which is good for me. But the one issue is that every other row is purled, and while I don't hate purling normally purling would not be an issue. Purling is a little bit of an issue because of the way I hold my wrist and the needle and how I kind of scoop in to do the purl. So I thought maybe I don't want to do that. And I decided that the perfect thing to start back on would be garter stitch. And I did not have a garter stitch project in progress, but what I decided I wanted to do is do one of those long lengthwise scarves. So you knit like the whole length of the scarf, and you can use up all your scraps just knitting back and forth and leaving the ends and tying them and fringing them. So this is what I have so far. I cast on and knit 2 rows on the first day. There are 250 stitches on the needle, and then on Saturday and Sunday I did 4 rows each day. So it is very, very slow progress, but I'm really trying to break myself in slowly and knit and not feel any pain. And I did not feel any pain, and I seem to be doing okay. So I'm going to do 4 rows a day for another couple days, and then probably take it up to 6 or 8 and just see how this goes. But so I am using all of my leftovers from previous projects, and I'm just literally doing a garter stitch scarf. So 1 row in each color, and I can tell you that like this rosy pink color right here, I used up all I had left. I had like a foot left at the end, and so I just cut it, and that was it. So I am trying to use up scraps from all my other projects. I have a big bag here. This is an Erin Lane bag, and I have a big bag here filled with all kinds of scraps. It's primarily greens and pinks that I have put in this bag, and I think I'll probably just start putting my scraps in like that. All of these are left over from previous projects and just lots of bits and pieces. And then, like I said, what I'm doing is I'm leaving the threads at the end. And what I'm doing is I'm knotting it. I'm knotting each 2 into fringe, and then eventually what I will do is I will take my rotary cutter and I will cut the fringe to be a uniform length. But for now, I'm just leaving 6 to 8 inches at the end and letting that go. And eventually this will just be a nice scrappy scarf that I can donate. And like I said, it is helping me use up the last little bits of everything. I will knit across a row and run out partway across the row and start something else. I do not care. So every row is just a different yarn, a different color. I have lots and lots and lots of greens, and then I have a bunch of different pinks. And so that is what I'm doing. And it'll look a little different on both sides because, as you know, garter stitch kind of mixes and matches the colors and your purls and your knits and whatever. So it's just going to be all kind of scrappy and happy. And it is hitting the spot. Like I said, it is a lot of stitches across, but it's just a really nice way for me to remember to relax my hands and keep my wrists in appropriate positions and work on this. It's kind of interesting because I think because I was having pain for a lot of months on and off, I'm really having to kind of relearn to sit and hold my needles and relax my arms. I think I have been holding my arms and a lot of tension in my shoulders in the last couple months because I was trying to do things to avoid my wrist hurting and or my technically it's my tendons in my arm here. So I was doing a lot of different things to try and keep that from hurting. And so now I'm trying to like relearn, and partway through every row I have to be like, okay, relax, let your shoulders down, let your hands relax, don't grip the needles too tight. So I'm working on it. It is a work in progress, as will this be for a little while, but I'm pleased with whatever inch and a half I can get because it's nice to be knitting again. So the other thing that I'm working on is embroidery, which I have sort of found in my convalescence. I know, I make it sound terrible. I figured out that I could do a little bit of stitching while I've been down because for whatever reason, holding the needle and kind of poking it through the canvas doesn't aggravate my wrist in the same way that knitting has. So I have been working on a sampler from M Creative J. It is a stained glass sunset scene, and this is what I have so far. So I've actually done quite a bit. I think the last time I talked to you, I was maybe like just past the sun, and I added all these in. I've still got this corner. I've got basically 5 more sections to do, and then I have the outlining. I did manage to buy a needle minder, and I don't know if you can tell, I don't know if it's clear enough, but this is a little narwhal, and underneath it says absolutely stabulous. And the deal is it's a magnetic needle minder, so I can put my needle on there. I found I only put my needle on there when I put it down like while I'm in the middle of working. When I'm not working, I've been storing it in the spare fabric because I did find that I put it into my bag and the magnet wasn't quite strong enough to keep it from like brushing the needle off in the bag. So, but I do, if I have to put it down to get up and do something else, I do that. So I have the little sun here, and then I've got like 3 or 4 more sections to finish, and then I guess 4 more sections, and then I have kind of the outline of the whole thing. I have some metallic thread to do all the outlines, which is also why you can sort of see the little lines here. I've tried to leave a little space to go ahead and put the metallic threads back. So that is what I'm working on. My hope is that I will finish this up this week and be able to show you the finished product next week, and then I will move on to another stitching project. So my plan is to continue with the stitching, particularly while I'm still not feeling confident in doing a ton of knitting. I might try and spin a little bit this week. I haven't spun in a couple weeks, and I still have the let's think about this. This is, I can't remember what fiber this is. I think it might be Rambouillet, but it might not be. And this is in, I can't remember. I know it's a Gritty Knits. Hang on, my notebook is right here. Shockwave. It's Gritty Knits, Shockwave, Rambo. Yeah, I was right. So this is the second half. The first half is spun. My guess is it will take me another week or 2 to get the second half spun. Normally I would sit and spin it in kind of a marathon 2 hours, but I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm hoping maybe I can spin for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes on my spinning wheel this week and see how that feels, and just kind of edge back into things slowly. Again, I don't think my production rate is going to be as high as it used to be, particularly for a while, but I'd love to start putting in little bits and pieces of this, and even 10 or 15 minutes would be wonderful to get back to it. So that is what I have for you today. I know it's a super short podcast. I don't have a lot going on. Like I said, I have the conference coming up this weekend. So next week, I'm sure I will tell you about that, and that can make up a little bit for my lack of crafting. And I will just continue to come back and do short episodes because I'm doing little bits and pieces here and there, but it just won't be quite as productive as I normally am. And I don't know where I'm going to end up with that. I obviously would like to be doing more crafting than I am doing, but I may try and just slow down and breathe a little bit more in the next few months, particularly as I'm, making sure that I don't re-injure myself. So I hope that you are having a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever time you are watching this. I hope that you are enjoying your crafty pursuits and are able to. And I will say, as I always do, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, plus embroidery, sewing, or whatever craft you enjoy. And I will see you next time. Bye.